called the police on my husband and watched them take him away. The officer's radio crackled in the driveway. Blue lights washed across the garage door in slow, silent rotations. My husband stood on the front steps, still in his work clothes, watching me from 20 feet away like I was a stranger. I didn't look away. 2 weeks earlier, I'd woken up to my son standing in the kitchen doorway, pale and shaking. "Mom," he said, "it's gone. The motorcycle, the one I'd saved for, the one I'd given him 3 months ago for his 18th birthday because his real father used to ride, and my son had inherited that love like he'd inherited his eyes. $7,000, custom blue paint, gone." We filed a police report that afternoon. My husband came with us, but he didn't say much, just sat in the station lobby with his arms crossed, that faint smile pulling at the corner of his mouth. When the officer asked if we had any leads, my husband shrugged. "Kids lose things," he said. "Expensive things." I felt something tighten in my chest, but I didn't say anything. For 2 weeks, my son barely spoke. He stopped putting up new posters, stopped sketching bikes in the margins of his notebooks. My husband walked through the house like he'd won something. "I told you," he said one morning, pouring coffee. $7,000, wasted. I stared at the steam rising from his mug and said nothing. Then my mother-in-law came over. She was talking about the other house, my husband's rental property, the one he planned to leave to his kids, and mentioned she'd been cleaning it that week. "Saw a motorcycle in the garage," she said casually, scrolling through her phone. "Beautiful thing. Blue, right? Like the one that went missing." The room went cold. "Can I see the photo?" I asked. She handed me her phone. There it was. Custom blue paint, chrome exhaust, my son's name etched into the seat leather. Sitting in my husband's garage, 30 miles away. I called him immediately. "Did you take it?" My voice was steady, controlled. He sighed. "Yeah, I moved it." "You moved it?" "I was protecting him," he said. Like that explained everything. "You weren't listening to me. Neither was he. Someone had to do something before he got himself killed. Bring it back." "No." The word hung in the air between us like smoke. "I'm serious," I said. "Bring it back or I'm calling the police." He laughed. Actually laughed. "This is a family matter. Cops can't do shit about this. You think they're going to arrest me? I'm his stepfather. I'm your husband." I hung up. Then I called 911. The operator asked if it was an emergency. I said yes. Theft. I knew exactly where the stolen property was. I gave them the address. They said they'd send someone. I sat on the couch and waited. My son was upstairs. He didn't know yet. I thought about telling him, but I couldn't move. I just sat there, hands folded in my lap, listening to the clock tick on the wall. An hour later, my phone rang. Unknown number. "Ma'am, we've recovered the motorcycle. We'll need you to come down to the station to confirm ownership." And my husband, a pause. "He's being held for questioning. There's an open file. He'll likely be released tonight, but we need to process everything." "Thank you," I said. I drove to the station alone. They wheeled the motorcycle out on a flatbed. My son's bike, untouched. Perfect. I signed the papers. Didn't smile, didn't cry, just took the keys and left. My husband came home 3 hours later. The front door slammed so hard the windows rattled. "Are you insane?" he shouted. "You called the cops on me? On me? Do you know what they asked me? Do you know what this looks like?" I stood in the kitchen, arms crossed, didn't move. "I was protecting him," he yelled. "I was trying to keep him safe, and you—" He stopped, looked at me like he was seeing me for the first time. "You had me arrested." "No," I said quietly. "You stole from my son. I reported a theft." His face went red. "This is insane. You're insane. My family's calling me. My mother is asking what the hell happened. Do you understand what you've done?" I didn't answer. "One day," he said, voice shaking, "one day you'll realize I was right, when it's too late, when he's hurt, when he's— Get out," I said. He stared at me. "What? Get out." He opened his mouth, closed it, then turned and walked upstairs. I heard a door slam. I stood in the kitchen for a long time after that, hands flat on the counter, breathing slowly. The house was silent. My son still wasn't speaking to me. My husband's family was calling me cruel, reckless, ungrateful. Maybe they were right. Maybe I should have handled it differently. But I kept seeing that smirk, that slow, satisfied smile as my son searched for something that was never really missing. I walked upstairs, knocked on my son's door. "It's back," I said through the wood. "Your bike. It's in the garage." Silence. Then quietly, "Ow." I called the police. A long pause. Then the door opened. My son stood there, eyes red, looking at me like I'd just pulled him out of deep water. "Mom, I'm sorry," I said. "I should have known." He didn't hug me, didn't say thank you, just nodded once and walked past me, down the stairs, out to the garage. I heard the engine start, the low, familiar rumble, then the sound of him pulling out of the driveway. I stood in the hallway and listened until I couldn't hear it anymore. My husband came downstairs an hour later, packed a bag, said he was staying at his rental property for a while, that I'd made my choice. I watched him leave. The house was quiet after that, just me and the sound of the refrigerator humming. I sat down at the kitchen table, poured myself a glass of water, drank it slowly. Outside, the sun was setting. The blue lights were gone. The driveway was empty. I set the glass